Oh, well, Great Tex, I might be a bit country and let's say Western, not American, because it's not like the UK didn't invent this. We got it from you guys. I'm pretty sure you still have it, but maybe you've suppressed it a little bit more. But still, obviously, the involvement in the Iraq war shows it's not totally gone. And same with the French and all the rest of the sanctimonious bastards. They all have these guys and these international oil and all of it. So what? We've got the biggest ones now, yeah, and we won't be the last, and they won't be the biggest ever. So the issue is this: you're like they had no reason to fire. You're implying at all because there were some AK-47s. Now I agree, guys with AK-47s, not pointing them at you. It's a dangerous situation. I wouldn't think that that alone. Maybe there's a curfew and stuff like that, which may be legit to put down. So it could easily be justified. But my personal position, you might think twice because it could be good people out there to go out and do some good as Iraqis that you don't know about. They might need some security. But a guy has a rocket launcher. You know what? If he's not pointing the rocket launcher, even that might be covered. Though that might be a different thing, like having a nuclear warhead, different arms law. All right. He points the rocket launcher at the helicopter, straight at it. Oh, well, it's out of range. Those things don't go that far. Maybe it's a new kind. But guess what? I don't really care. If a guy that can throw 15 feet is throwing rocks at me, I believe I'm justified in throwing a rock at him. If I'm 20 feet away, even if I'm 30 feet away. But if I'm 30 feet away, I probably wouldn't. But then again, if I've spent all day with guys trying to throw rocks at me, I might, because it's only a matter of the range. In other words, if I was close enough, he would be throwing it at me. That's provocation right there. So I think that it's really dangerous to be so critical. And also, I totally disapprove of any socialist of any sort, or even progressive, criticizing the working man. This is a perfect example of how soldiers do follow the rules, and the rules are fucked up because the people that just make the rules and break the rules and hide when they break the rules and hide when they make them the rules, those people are so fucked up. Now, I'm a kind of person that, I think it's crazy when the leaders get more punishment than the actors in a honest, obvious crime. Like a Charles Manson situation, those guys go out and actually do the murder. Charles Manson never actually goes, and he gets a more harsh punishment than them. That's ridiculous. They should all get the maximum punishment or whatever. But, in something like that illegal, yeah, you need stupid people need to punish. These guys, we still need soldiers, see, I believe. I believe there are national level things. We should migrate them towards being police in their behavior, meaning everything overt except for the names and that kind of information. Practically, you maximize overtness, let's just put it that way. And you have rules of engagement that say no collateral civilian loss is acceptable. None. You wait for a month smoking someone out before you blow up a whole building to get them. All right. Now, okay, not none, but again, minimal, because maybe you're going to blow out a window, destroy a duct to go through it. Who knows? We want to migrate in that direction. But even if we get there, certain police activities will look like war probably forever. They'll involve tanks and this kind of stuff. Certainly thousands of years. Because you'll have big organized crime the size of nations that needs to be taken down that way. I think it'll be easier to take down organized crime when war is done as a police type action. You cannot blame the soldiers that are going to act on that when the rule. You can't just say, well, following orders isn't good enough. Yes, it is. If the orders were within a realm of reasonableness, then it's okay. And if you laugh at a dead person and you act bloodthirsty, if you follow the rules of restraint, you've shown your ability to follow these rules of engagement. Your private feelings are not on judgment. That's for you and your priest or your psychologist or your wife or whomever to deal with. So long as you are a professional, which is defined by being able to follow those rules of engagement. If the rules of engagement change from Wednesday to Thursday, you have to be good enough to follow those. And you don't lie, and when things are used to your discretion, like do you see a gun, it doesn't mean you can see a gun in your dream world and pretend that's good enough. You have to use your honest senses. We're trusting your senses and your honesty together. These soldiers in this video are faultless in that respect. That doesn't mean I think they have the best attitude of the best soldiers ever. No, I like soldiers like Ike who talked against war. They weren't hoping a guy would pick up a gun. They'd say, don't pick up a gun, you poor stupid bastard. I'm going to have to kill you. Okay, fine. There's lots of rankings. But a lot of the real crime of war is rapes, mayhem, robbery. People that just go loose. That's the problem with these private contractors. It's super fertile ground for people like that, the private contracting area. They just go mayhem, no law. These guys aren't those guys. These guys are therefore above the level of fault. Like, they can't be prosecuted for this. Firing on the people taking the body, that's right. And I noticed how that the closest thing they did to a lie was they're taking the body and they're picking up bodies and weapons. See, that means that they're just collecting their wounded and they're getting weapons, and they weren't getting any weapons. That's the lie. Someone's in trouble for that. All right, so but it should be prosecuted for lying about that fact. They should say, what did you see? But you know what? We just saw a videotape. Some guy in that van might have gone and been picking up a weapon. It's just like the camera guys happened to hang out with some guys. Maybe they were showing them something to photograph, right? They were doing their job, interacting locally, not getting killed, and getting some photographs of information. And they happen to be with a guy that points a weapon at a helicopter. Well, that is very bad luck. Okay. But when they say the guy who survived was also being picked up with some weapons, well, I didn't see evidence of that. That's the one thing that remained. I used to think, well, there's no evidence for weapons, and then I saw the evidence for weapons, so now I'm cautious. But I didn't see anybody picking up any weapons. I saw them picking up a body. And that, I think, can be prosecuted, yes, all the way down to the soldier. But not all the soldiers, so I feel fine characterizing the soldiers the way I have. But I think that one thing. Also, you want to know another prosecution is they didn't take those kids to the military hospital. Considering the accident that we took and the fact that the soldier on the ground, if you watch that tape, wanted to take them to the military hospital, that is some sort of malfeasance. I don't know how criminal it was, but it was malfeasance, and it seems like a part of the cover-up. Send them to an Iraqi. Kids are getting hurt all the time. They go to an Iraqi prison, the paperwork means nothing. 2 kids show up, all of their wounds, boom, we'd have it by Freedom of Information, or, if not, WikiLeaks, by now, what the condition of those kids were. Because they were wounded, but it's amazing they were alive. So, and they were wounded really bad. In the videotape of my channel, the guy talks about the glass in the girl's eyelid. He had to pull out glass just so she could blink her eyes. But overall, I would say it's in a minimalist way. But compared to how bad, the rape and pillage of war tends to get, I mean, if we could get to a point where we follow the rules, then that's pretty good. And these kids were at that level almost, or mostly, and maybe a couple details, but in terms of firing on the group in the first place and stuff, not firing on the van, that's where it starts to get illegal looking. But if we could be at the level where they actually follow those rules of engagement, and just instead of just saying war is hell, I'll do whatever I want, then that's pretty good, because that's what we need to do. And then we're going to bring those standards, rules of engagement, up to police standards, and maybe we should even bring the police rules of engagement up to alleged police standards. Okay, I hope that explained my position more, and I'm getting this flack from the left defending the soldiers, but you just gotta put on your face and reality glasses and realize that, yeah, how is this job supposed to be done? It shouldn't be done at all. I know, by what year? By immediately, or 10 years? Then how do we get there? Incrementally. So anyway, that's the pragmatics of it.